so I'm at Heath Low Level, which is on what was the Cardiff Railway, which was featured in the first video that I ever made about this year's railways around Wales. And I quite often talk about the Rumney and the Taff Valley and the Barry and all these different lines, but where did they go? When they got to Cardiff with all their passengers, where did they end up? And so this is just a quick video looking at some of the termini in Cardiff and some of the termini down in Cardiff Bay, and one or two others which drop into the mix. I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to be looking specifically at three railway companies around their trains into Cardiff. The Rumney Railway, seen here in orange, the Taff Valley Railway, seen here in green, and the Great Western Railway, seen here in yellow. When the Rumney Railway first ran services to Cardiff in 1858, they did so using the Taff Valley Railway tracks down the big hill from Caerphilly, which I featured in a previous video through Taff's Wells. These terminated in a station called Adam Street. This was located in the centre of Cardiff, not far from the current Queen Street station and adjacent to the prison. It latterly became a goods station, as shown on this map. Today there's nothing left to show there was ever a railway here. In fact, the site of the goods shed and the station is exactly where the multi-storey car park is located. When the Rumney opened their new line to Cardiff from Caerphilly through Kevennon Tunnel, they opened a new station. So, in 1871, Adam Street closed and Crocodile station opened instead. This was located just north of the current Queen Street station and was named after the part of Cardiff it was built in. It was renamed Parade in 1924 after the road that led to it. There are very few photographs of this station, but this one was taken towards the end of its life. In this photo, looking down Queen Street, you can see the two lines with the Rumney in the foreground and the Taff Valley in the background. Crocodile would have been located to the right of this photo. Today there's no remnants of the station, but if you follow this video of this Class 150 Sprinter as it passes over the railway bridge, it would have been located roughly about here. The sidings in the area remained open for some time, and this photo from the 1960s shows again the branch to the left heading down to the docks, with the railways to the right heading into the Taff Valley Queen Street station. Crocodile was an area of Cardiff which was completely demolished, and there's very little reminder it even existed. There is this one small lane near the main Queen Street which is named after the area. If it's familiar, it's probably because you may have seen it on Doctor Who or Torchwood, and actually the club here is where Uncle Bryn lost his lunch in Gavin and Stacey. There was one more Rumney station which was used for workmen's trains running to the engine sheds and docks. Not a lot is known about this station, but it is known that trains were running in 1928. Looking at the side-by-side maps from the Scottish Mapping Services, it is marked as Terminus Station, and today it's in the middle of a very large roundabout which leads out the top of the Butte Town tunnels. The Taff Valley Railway opened its main Cardiff station at Queen Street in 1887, replacing one built in 1840. This is located at the top of Queen Street, as can be seen here on the map. It was a substantial station with restaurants, waiting rooms, and as you can see, a taxi rank outside. As the years went on, it deteriorated. This shot in 1974 shows the oversheds not in the best of conditions, and it was about this time it was rebuilt. This fine station was pulled down and replaced with a modern entrance. Today it consists of 4 through platforms and a bay platform. Platform 5 was reopened when the station was developed further in 2014. The station in Cardiff Bay opened in 1844 and was originally called Cardiff Butte Docks. A year later the name changed to Cardiff Docks. It became Butte Street in 1924 and then Cardiff Bay in 1994. This building was once the headquarters of the Taff Valley Railway before they relocated to Caerphilly. For a while the National Museum of Wales used the building for an exhibition, but over time it became quite run down. The original platforms were closed and the line routed to its current form in 1994. The canopy over the original platforms deteriorated and it all became very overgrown. A preservation group did use this stretch of line to house some locomotives and ran short trips up and down the platform using a DMU, but they relocated to the preserved railway at Barry. Today the buildings are being used for enterprise offices, and a single platform is used for services to Queen Street and then regularly onto Corriton, quite often served by a single car 153 unit. Where the other platforms were and the canopy, there is now a wine bar. The Great Western Railway had 3 stations in the centre of Cardiff. Cardiff Riverside was opened in 1993 at the top of a branch that went down into the docks. Services to Penarth, St Fagans and out to Barry ran from this branch up through Riverside. It was separate from Cardiff Central Station, but was incorporated into the main station in 1914, becoming platforms 8 and 9. It was used in latter years as a goods station with a Red Star parcel service underneath, but it closed for passengers in 1964 and was demolished in 1994. Today there's no evidence of a station here. This is the rear of Cardiff Station and there's no remnants at all of Riverside Station left. In fact, the area on which it was is now a through platform with a rear entrance to the station. Clarence Road Station was built at the bottom of what is now Dumballs Road and opened in 1893. The idea was it would link with trams and serve the docks. This is the branch at Riverside South signal box taken in 1959, and this photo shows the station itself. It was a single platform station with a passing loop, initially served by steam haul trains but latterly served by DMUs. You can see the station in the bottom middle of this aerial image. To the left is the River Taff and to the right is the Glamorgan Canal. The area was nicknamed Rat Island, and there is still some evidence of some rails in some of the industrial units to the left of the line. But apart from that, there is nothing left, including the canal. And the site of the station has been turned into flats. Which brings us on to Cardiff Central. This was opened in 1850 as just Cardiff, and is the city's main station, with trains running to many destinations. It was expanded in 1896 and in 1924 renamed Cardiff General. In the 1930s it went through a major rebuild. It's been expanded many times and seen many changes, including electrification and the addition of extra platforms. In 1973 it was renamed Cardiff Central. Today it's located next to a brand new Transport for Wales bus station, but it retains its Great Western Railway fascia and charm. It was recently restored to its 1930s Art Deco style roof and lighting. One thing the original station didn't have, however, was a Platform Zero, one of the few stations in the UK to have one. And so today we have Cardiff Central, Cardiff Queen Street and Cardiff Bay. However, this too will soon change. In the next few years the South Wales Metro will be built and these tram trains installed to run on the line through Pontypridd, down to Cardiff Central and also into Cardiff Bay. A new station called The Flourish will be built further down the road from the current Cardiff Bay station. It'll be located opposite the Millennium Centre, not far from the proposed arena. It'll be roughly where these trees and hedges are, running down alongside the current road. So in future I may have to do another video about the lost station of Cardiff Bay. I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview of the stations around Cardiff. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, tell your friends, like the video, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.